Dudes, it's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So we have another episode of This Week in Warframe. We go the entire weekly reset. And this week in Warframe, we got a new Bosmu augment available if you've been grinding out your Nightwave challenges, like, a lot. And beyond that, it's a kind of chill week for Warframe, but if you enjoy these types of videos, make sure to show you daily Warframe video uploads. We're also live on stream right now, some Omniformal bundle giveaways. Come on, stuff I've done already. All right, first weekly reset item over here, we got a Zaw River mod at Teshin for 75 sea lessons. Not really worth it, but if you want to grab it, go ahead. But yeah, we just had our, our hotfix pause announced until the old piece update in December. And if you ask me, my prediction for the first, or for when the old piece update will be coming out is the first 2 weeks of December. Because DE usually goes on a relatively long vacation at the end of the month. And of course, holidays and all that. So yeah, expect the old piece update the first half of December is my guess, personally. But on the way to that, we have the remnants of a double XP weekend. If you're watching this right when this video comes out, you got 18 hours of double XP, more like 19 hours. But yeah, beyond that, it's just a kind of chill week for Warframe. If you're playing some other games, it might be a good time to grind out some things. Or if you're still just playing Warframe mainly, it's a good time to grind out things you're not going to want to do during the old peace update in December. So like maybe some Lich Hunts or whatever. All right, for the Dormizone over here, we got some stacked loot this week. Jeez. Okay, we got a melee ribbon, a companion ribbon, and a shotgun ribbon, and an Orkin catalyst, and a primary Orkin adapter. Very, very good ribbons to grab here, especially that companion ribbon mod for some Pathos claims. So great items there. Let's move on to the Dormizone. Now, we're on the last week of this calendar year for Warframe, like the 1990 calendar year, which means that your buffs will be going away next week. So just keep that in mind if you are grabbing these items. We had a really underwhelming calendar last week with no Archon shards, but yeah, let's see what we got this week. So as far as the drops here, first level is going to be a Ribbon mod or a singular arcane. Go for the Ribbon mod, I'd say. And after that, you got these perks being Got Your Back, making Spectres do more damage, Harden Up, giving you shields on kill, or Heavy Mags, giving you increased magazine size for weapons. Go ahead and pick whatever one you feel like is the best for you. Afterwards, you got a Purple Shard guaranteed. There's those shards we were looking for. So Purple Shard guaranteed, great for buffing up your primary guns with built-in electric damage with the Purple Shard option, or you could get some crit damage for your melee. There's some of the best shards in the game, so go ahead and grab that. No questions asked. I mean, you could grab a 3-day affinity booster. It's just basically 40 plat, though. You want 40 plat or a thing that is bottleneck per week. I say go for the Purple Shard for sure. Very high-level item right there. Next, you got a 6k Endo, dropped a decent chunk of Endo, or singular arcane. Really, I'd say go for the Endo on that one. And over here, you got some more powerful buffs, like Trick Shots, giving a chance to fire projectiles when you hit a enemy. Firing weapons reduces the chance. These enemies die too fast to really see this most of the time, but yeah, you could maybe grab that if you want to. Next, Powered Shields. This looks like a new one to me. Energy Orbs also give 100 shields and overshields. I've never seen that buff before. Seems kind of powerful, but also, not that necessary. And then the last one, Combo Wave. Upon getting 7x combo multiplier, all melees attack fire off waves of energy. It sounds cooler than it actually is, but you should definitely give it a shot at some point. These are some of the weird buffs this week for sure. For your last couple of loot drops, you got 200 Phosphor or a Orkin Catalyst, basically 20 plat or 200 Phosphor. And for your drops over here, you got a Exilus Weapon Adapter, basically 20 plat or 200 Phosphor. Again, and then for your last buffs of the season, you got Broaden Horizons, giving you more ability range. Toxic Shot, giving you built-in gas damage on primaries and secondaries. Or Espresso Shot's giving you energy regen all the time. Really up to you. I think I'm going to probably go for Broaden Horizons here for more ability range. And for your final drop here, you got another Ribbon or 2k Kuva. Go for the Ribbon, honestly. So yeah, you got a Purple Shard this week. There was no shards last week. That's a little bit of an upgrade. Now let's move on to the Elite Temporal Archimedia mission. If you're not getting any shards from this one, that would be kind of a problem. But yeah, technically this requires rank 5 with the Hexen to get to run these missions over here. And also, it's going to require you to have some Netrocell search pulses from the Octravia on the other, like on Deimos or whatever. But yeah, great place to get legendary arcanes like Arcane Hotshot and Fallout. And speaking of Fallout, I got Oberon as one of my choices. Hooray. Alright, so as far as what we got the first mission, Hell Scrubber, basically survival. Second mission, Legacy Harvest, basically capture. And the last mission is the boss fight against the tank. What your mission modifiers will make these a little bit more difficult, but trust me, it's worth the loot in the end. First, mission modifiers, we got Pile On. Tech brought enemies attempt to melee the Hell Scrubbers, bursting and contaminating the Hell Scrubbers faster. If the Hell Scrubber becomes fully contaminated, it becomes a Babao, which will give you less life support compared to a normal life support tower. So, yeah, just basically watch the life support towers, treat them as defense objectives, kind of, but it should not be that big of a deal, even if they do get the corruption up. Next, Hostile Regeneration. Enemies will slowly regenerate their health. We are very powerful in those games, that should not really matter. Next, Foggy Fall. A fog limits the vision across the map zone. That's pretty annoying, but yeah, it's kind of like a free modifier, honestly. Next one, Legasite Harvest. First modifier is Parallel Evolution. As the Legasite evolves, other enemies also get new abilities. It's not that big of a deal, but interesting. This one is a big deal, though. Competitive Streak. Random negative penalties from Amir and Ali's face-off mode will be applied throughout the mission. So that means there is a debuff called Energy Orbs turned off or disabled, and it means more than just that. It means all energy sources are now disabled, including Xeneric, Energy Nexus. All that stuff's not going to work until the modifier goes away. So just keep that in mind that you might just have no abilities available to you. There's also one that gives you cooldowns for abilities too. Isn't that fun? And for the last modifier on this one, Heavy Warfare. Enemies take 95% less damage from non-heavy weapons. So get that Larkspur Prime or that Grappler. Enemies will drop heavy ammo packs, and heavy weapon recall is reduced to 5 seconds. I don't even know if we have a cooldown for heavy Arcwing guns in 2025, but yeah. A little bit of an annoying Legacy Harvest, I'd say. And for the boss fight here, you got Thermian Plating as your first modifier. Only Thermian RPGs can destroy the tank. Reinforcements that drop Thermian RPGs will arrive during the fight. This actually makes the boss fight easier, I found. Just make sure you can aim that rocket launcher at the correct weak points on the boss. Next, Artillery Beacons. When destroyed, a Scaldra troop will drop a Bombardment Beacon. Not that big of a deal. And the last one, Bolstered Belligerents. All enemies have Overguard equal to 50% of their maximum health. The only one that will really matter on this one is going to be Thermian Plating, in my opinion, just because you have to look for the rocket launchers. For your individual modifiers, you can turn these on to get more loot. You got Powerless. All abilities are disabled until the squad gets 50 kills, so you could use the Spectres or crew members to get those kills for you easily. Secondary Wounds gain a Puncture proc whenever you take damage. Puncture procs make you deal less damage to enemies. Untreatable. Pickups do not heal, and health orbs cannot be picked up. That's kind of annoying for Oberon, but hopefully it's not that big of a deal. And the last one, Lethargic Shields. Shield recharge delay is reduced by 500%. So no shields and no healing. Interesting. So good luck on that one, guys. That's a great place to get Archon Tau Shard. We saw a purple shard in the calendar. That is a purple Tau Shard right there. I'm getting a report from chat right now that the Coda rotation did hit at the same time as the reset. So let's take a quick look at this. We got a 43.9 Beso, 31 Cost Assist, 46 Haruto, 32 Path Assist, 40 Synapse, and 29 Tysis. Not as good as I was thinking, but yeah, 46 Haruto and 43 Beso is decent at least.
Let's do this again.
She has, by the way, she has still not brought a high-tier base assist after all these months. I don't know what is going on. It must be coded to not bring a good base assist. But yeah, nothing like really above 50, I think, is the highest she's ever brought. So yeah, if you've never grabbed a base assist, that might be a good one to grab right there. As you know, you're about halfway through the grinding percentages tier there. All right, moving on to the Elite Deep Archimedia. A very similar situation, but on a different planet. You'll be using your Netracell Search Pulses to get even more loot from this place as well. But yeah, guys, as far as like new stuff happening this week, don't expect too much new stuff. DE is working on the updates, and hotfixes are paused unless you're on mobile. So yeah, don't expect anything new until December, honestly. All right, moving on to your Elite Deep Archimedia. This looks a little bit easier than the last planet. You got Exterminate, Survival, and the Near Defense. So. And he talks so much. He really does. As far as the first mission, though, you got Exterminate with Sealed Armor as your first modifier. Enemies take 90% less damage from non-weak point hits. These are Murmur enemies you're talking about, so some of them don't even have weak points. So just basically bring the big damage if you can. Bold Venture. Enemies deal less damage and take increased damage, but also have increased attack speed, movement speed, and fire rate. So they take more damage, and they deal less damage, but they attack a lot faster. And Commanding Culverins. Rogue Culverins equip weapons that deal 5 times damage to Overguard and Necromech, so your Dante will not be as easy. He'll have to cast like 2 more abilities. For Survival, you got Necromech Influx. Necromechs appear with a greater frequency. Not a big deal. That's actually a good thing in my opinion, because they're so easy to kill nowadays. Devil's Bargain. If you're near a dead enemy, you will drain your ammo a lot faster. And Myopic Missions, when you're near that enemy, they don't take damage. If you're not near them, they don't take damage. Enemies that be within 15 meters of a player to actually damage them, so keep an eye out for your ammo count. Good thing I got Sight on 9 for this one. And for the last one, Mirror Defense. This Mirror Defense was very glitched out last week for my squads. Hopefully it's not glitched out this week for anybody. But Glyph Inflation. The security system requires 100 glyphs to activate the defenses. Fortified foes, Guardian Eximus may appear, including Guardian Eximus Necromex, who cares, and Post-Mortal Surges. This one's important. Dead enemies explode in void energy. Keep them away from the objective, they will blast that thing down. For your individual modifiers, you got Lethargic Shields, making your shield regeneration delay increase by 500%. Transference to Source, which means no operators or drifters allowed. Frame Curse Syndrome means activating ability does 50 damage to you, and Abbreviated abilities means 50% reduced duration on your abilities too. So that one's not too bad, but keep an eye out for that final mission there with those exploding enemies. They might destroy that objective really fast. You have to do the whole thing over again. For your guaranteed shard from Burn Free, get a blue ARchon shard if you want to grab that for 30,000 reputation.
It's so nice.
Is it nice? Are blue shards really that nice? I don't think they are. But you could use them to combine the purple shards or green shards if that's what you want to do. Moving on to the ARchon Hunt and all that good stuff, we have I believe the Owl Archon. Yeah, the Owl Archon's here this week with the mission types being Sabotage, Excavation, and the Final Boss Showdown. For your circuit, let's take a peek what we got for these normal frames. Okay, we got Excalibur normal, Trinity normal, and Ember normal. So I would say go for Trinity here. The boss fight for Trinity is the Ambulance boss fight, which takes quite a bit of time compared to these other frames. I think like Ember's from the Fire guy, I can't remember his name right now, Sargus Ruck on Saturn, and then Excalibur, I believe, is from the duo fight on Ceres with Vor and Lech Krill. It's either that or the one on Mars, but either way, he's not that hard to farm. Yeah, so just go for Trinity here. You're saving yourself a lot of time. If you do want her Helmet ability, which is Well of Life. Well of Life's a decent Helmet, but not like the most popular, I'll just say it like that. We got to do some Incarnons here. We got some good Incarnons this week, some bad Incarnons this week. But yeah, as far as the best of the best, I'd say go for the Paris Prime Incarnon as your number one. And number two is like, do you really think it's worth your time to grind these out? We'll talk about what all of them do here in a second. But yeah, Paris Prime is definitely the number one easily this week. But as far as what these Incarnons do, Breton Incarnon, Leto Incarnon, the Skana Incarnon, the Paris Incarnon, the Kunai Incarnon. As far as what all these Incarnons do, we got the first one, the Breton Incarnon here. It's going to be, after some headshots, you can go to Incarnon form with this Incarnon weapon, and it will get built-in heat damage, exploding bullets. Very high damage per shot, not the best fire rate. It's just pretty much a worse version of the Bursted Incarnon that will be here in a couple weeks. But if you have nostalgia for the Bratton, because you know it's the starter weapon for some people, you could go ahead and use your starter weapon and use it for high levels. So that's kind of fun. As far as some of the perks on here, you got Prelude of Might, you got Critical Parallel, you got some other stuff like that. Really not the best in the game, but pretty good. All Steel Battle Guard are technically good, but I'm just telling you right now, you will put this thing down once you get the Bursting card on in the future. But yeah, full auto exploding bullets weapon, pretty powerful. Next, the Leto Incarnon. Just like the starter weapon for the primary, you got the starter pistol right here. As far as this one's, I think this one's a little bit stronger than the Bratton personally. But yeah, once you get some headshots, you go to Incarnon form, giving you built-in punch through and ricochet. What ricochet means is it will hit nearby enemies when you fire at the initial enemy. So hit the guy in front of you, hits the guys nearby him as well for big damage. As far as some really powerful perks on here, you got Death Trap Trigger. On equipping this weapon, you get crit chance and crit damage increase, a lot of them for 4 seconds. So you basically swap to it, destroy everything, swap back, and then just go back and forth. A little bit annoying, but it's very powerful and worth it if you do that. But yeah, that being said, Leto Vandal is pretty hard to get. Leto Normal is the starter pistol, and Leto Prime is only for people who were like the original founders and paid like $200 in like 2010 or whatever. So yeah, go ahead and grab it if you want to, but it's definitely a lower priority, as is pretty much everything this week. Skana Incarnon. Hey, look, another starter weapon right here. The Skana Incarnon will go for the best of the Prisma Skana if you have that. But yeah, it's just pretty much a very high stat sword. Get a 6x combo multiplier to a heavy attack to go into Incarnon form, and what that does is that you will stun nearby enemies when you enter Incarnon form, and after doing a finisher, it's like Excalibur kind of. You will do an AoE blind after doing another finisher. So, that being said, I mainly use this thing as a stat upgrade for the Prisma Skana, giving you tons of crit with Survivor's Edge, or Absolute Valor, or maybe a substantial chance of Elemental Excess. So, yeah, as long as you're okay for a relatively generic, powerful sword, this thing has got you covered. And I like to use it for cutting up enemy Greniers to get like more endo from their bodies, basically. So yeah, really go with Necros. You want to cut enemies up. But yeah, definitely passable at the end of the day. Not passable at all as the Paris Incarnon. Specifically for the Paris Prime. And I might have a video involving this weapon out in the next week. Also, if you watch my build videos, you might notice this thing's equipped quite often because it has a very, very high status chance, and it's great for a dog stat stick. So what this basically does is you increase your status chance massively, and then you equip your dog, your Kubrau, and it will take the crit and status from your weapon and then use it for its claw stats. So because of that, the Paris Prime is the best because it has the highest status chance in the primary form of any Incarnon. So we got the Visage Ball Exilus mod. This gives increased status chance. It's only be used in the Paris Prime. It's an extra status chance mod. So with my build, I have 600% status chance on the Paris, and that makes my dog have about 350% status chance as well. What does it do besides just have crazy high stats? Get a headshot, and you'll have the railgun arrow mode activated. Sacrificing silence to get increased projectile size and heat damage. If you don't want to use it for a dog stat stick, you can use it as like a gas damage, like DOT build. You'll get so many procs, you'll wipe out a hallway easily. Also do like a blast build, I guess. It's very versatile, and it's also, it's a starter weapon, but it's a very powerful starter weapon with the Paris Prime. The Mark 1 Paris, I would not recommend on that. Just use the Paris Prime because of that special Visage Ball mod. And for the last one, the Kunai Incarnon, this thing is a very single target, but very powerful against that one target. Just like the Lado, it has the Death Trap Trigger perk. When you equip this thing from like your primary, it gets that big crit chance and crit damage increase that can wipe out most enemies in one hit. That being said, its Incarnon form is a seeking headshot single target thing. So seeks headshots and increased multi-shot. Again, it's single target. You cannot make this thing hit multiple enemies very easily. But yeah, if you do aim it at one enemy, it's going to take them out. And you swap this thing, throw out the kunai, they're dead, and then swap back. You just have basically a guaranteed kill kunai ready to go at all times. That being said, though, it is very, very unpopular. And yeah, just not really used that much. So that being said, after all is said and done, one of the best Incarnons this week. As I said earlier, Paris Prime number 1. Great for a dog stat stick. Great for a high status weapon. It's got good crit too, for that matter. Number 2s will really be up to you. These Incarnons are not really must-haves, but if you do want to grab something that's going to be useful, I'd say I use the Skana quite often. I'd say as far as the ones I use the most often are like Paris, Skana, Lado. I never really use the Kunai or the Bratton anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, hope that's helpful to you guys. Number 1, that. Number 2, this or that. And really, just go, if you want to just like not waste too much time this week, just go for the Paris and then just don't even get a second one. Hope that's helpful to you guys. Let's move on to the Nightwave here. This is going to be the night we can unlock the Bosmu augment called Dreadful Kill Shot. I expect a build video on that tomorrow morning. Okay, what do we got here? So first, challenge the assassin. Complete 3 assassination missions. Easy enough. Go bully the sergeant. Next, the Old Ways. Complete a mission with only a single pistol and a glaive equipped. Easy enough. First Elite Weekly, defeat the Afurvan tank. So good thing we got the Afurvan tank as our ETA mission, so that's pretty cool. We can just get an easy challenge completed there. Complete an arbitration mission. You can just do 1 wave and extract, pretty straightforward. Those rotate once every hour. And your permanent weeklies, kill Eximus, complete missions, and just kill enemies in general. Straightforward enough. For your credit offering source, what we got going on this week, we got some Kuva and all that stuff at the top as per usual. We got a Temple helmet, we got a Komi helmet, Jade helmet, all these good helmets. It's good to see this stuff. Like a Plasmor skin. You got Critical Mutation for the Cannibalist. It's very good for the Coda Cannibalist. Giving you a bunch of crit chance and crit damage. When you throw the grenade, it will potentially take some of that away, though. And you got Napalm Grenades, which if you use the Penta, I guess that's pretty good. Deadly Maneuvers for the Magnus, Singular. Enemy radar is pretty decent too, so some pretty good stuff. You got the Heat Sword and the Heat Dagger for Mastery Fodder, and you got the Saturn 6 shoulder plates and some Conclave mods. Double tap the Latron's pretty nice for big damage, but yeah, I don't use it all the time. So that's me basically your Nightwave store and all that stuff, guys. Now, like I said, expect a build video for the Bosmu tomorrow morning. This thing is a little bit specific, increasing your status and damage depending on how much HP you have in your frame. Not gonna work on every frame, but it's kind of decent at least, so. That's basically it for the video. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm seeing you on stream right now, actually. And yeah, as far as some invigoration, we got Wukong. Ooh, a Wukong range one is nice. Oh my gosh, I can finally, okay, there might be a Noko video this week too, actually, because I can override this on the Noko for some big range. We got a Mag one and a Necros one. So I'll see you guys next video. For your support, come on, stop by the live stream right now if you want to enter some giveaways, and I'll see you next time. Peace.